Bro, sasa brand anything yenye inakama inanyoroshwa. Anything kitu hatuwezi fanya ni kuosha pesa.
So hawa tu kisikia jina yao, what comes to your mind? Sawa Abel Mtua.
Abel kukula makucha.
Message tu mtu anaitwa Celeste Ndinda.
Awo, ni Mwagithurai.
Yo, mambo vipi bana, wananiita mjukuu mfalme ama ukipenda Dennis Milimo, na leo tupo na one of the funniest guys hapa nchini Kenya. Anakwenda kwa jina Kimani, lakini wengi wanamjua kama Njugush. Tupo hapa tuweze kupiga story kidogo what he has been doing na nini. Juzi ameweza kuwa na very successful show, we will be talking about that, na also the deals he is closing to make sure kwamba pesa zinaingia pale kwenye benki. Mambo vipi bro?
Niko salama, wananiita mfalme wa mjukuu. Niko salama, Mungu anasaidia. Mambo fit, yani mambo fresh. Manzi.
Good to see you man.
Unaniweka kwa nasikia ni kama niko na mchecheto wa kuongea Kiswahili, lakini niko fiti. Mungu anasaidia.
Nikukumbushe kidogo Kiswahili chako pale ilikuwa lini? Pale BBC 2017. Tulikutana, kuna mtu anaitwa Angela Ngendo. Alafu na Njugush. Unakumbuka kipindi?
Nakumbuka, ilikuwa BBC Sema. Ilikuwa BBC Sema. Nakwambia ilikuwa ni katika hali ya tamthilia sababu wa Tanzania wasikiza. Jamani inabidi umekoroga Kiswahili, lakini sasa Kiswahili yetu unajua inaingiaga na lugha ya mama. Ni Kiswahili imepitia Kiambu sana. Yes. But nashukuru sana, it's been a journey. Hiyo ilikuwa actually ilikuwa 2017, you're right. Ilikuwa 2016 into 2017. Yeah.
One of the deals ambaye iliweza kupeleka on radio, unajua. How was the experience kwanza? Manake tumeletea conversation, wacha tuiguzie kidogo.
I think BBC was one of those because I did journalism, so I always wanted to work in radio. I did radio back in school, but I wanted a proper radio. So BBC ilinipatia hiyo platform. We did 1 year. It was a current affairs show, but ya mavijana. So it had to be fun, at the same time very informative. So it was those challenging assignments, ambazo at the same time you need to have fun, but at the same time it was all in one. Kila kitu kizingatiwa. Kana kwamba. Yani kana kwamba leo nitatumia kana kwamba sana jamani.
So which is a good thing, unajua tena. Moving forward, wewe ushafikiria tena kurudi kule ama wewe umesema mimi na radio sasa I want to focus on my brand kabisa?
Bro, sasa brand anything yenye inakama inanyoroshwa. Anything kitu hatuwezi fanya ni kuosha pesa. Not anyway. Kitu yenye hatuwezi tufanya as long as hiyo kitu illegal, tunaipiga mbaya.
Have you been approached before na wase wanataka urudi kwa hiyo jani ulikuwa?
Yes and no, but ideally is if you get something because it's something I love doing. I love being in front of cameras. Kamera tu kiwaka hivi unasikia mchecheto kana kwamba jamani. If it's radio, there is something sweet about radio. I don't know. Yes, wasome reach out na wataendelea ku reach out. Tukipata ile sweet yenye inapigwa ikisonga, ienda sana.
Ile inafika bei, sio?
Si bei, sasa unaharibu.
Unajua bei lazima ifike.
Unaweza kuwa na bei na uenjoy kitu unafanya. So as long as one you're having fun, it allows you to do other things. Inanyoroshwa.
Sawa. So unajua wewe pale nyuma majorly you used to do skits and all that 1 minute, but now you have transitioned into stand-up comedy. The other day we had one of the biggest shows pale KICC. Unajua into the preparation of that particular show, unajua nini kilikuwa involved na expenditure yako into that particular show ilikuwa gani?
Well, it's I wouldn't say it's a one-day affair because we started back in last year in October in terms of scripting, having those sit-downs out of Nairobi. Ukiwa Nairobi hauwezi fikiria. Na that's why I insist a lot of decision making zinafaa kufanywa nje. So unachiki hata wasawa bigi wakitaka ku make decisions wanaenda Naivasha, wanaenda wapi. So there was that. There was also now the pre-production where you get nani atafanya ABCD who is going to take care of that. Now there is the production on the day. But things that are going it's a lot of wheels that are turning together. So if one wheel doesn't turn, that means the whole machine haita turn. So it's quite complex, and that's why I can only do that once a year. So but it was really successful from the point where we started to even now vile tulimalizia pale KICC, and people came out. That's why I'm saying it's a lot of ways, because we could have done all that na wase wasikam hiyo ingefanya sasa the whole machine ikae funny. So it's a lot of wheels that have to move together, if not together simultaneously, but they have to keep moving. So I think in terms of it's heavy in terms of requirements, in terms of budget, heavier than, because it's a whole production. You have more than 100 people who are on site working, so it's a whole it's a whole it's a whole ecosystem, so to speak.
Alafu unajua pale a lot of people were there, more than tuseme kama 3,000 hivi, sio walifika, sio
3,000 plus, because sasa tulisema manze tumesell out, and something I don't know, people are ready to consume Kenyan content. You know, a lot of times we say people don't want to support Kenyan content, but people are supporting because all the shows we've done zote zimekuwa sold out. So this one hatukuwa sure because ilikuwa on a bigger venue, but man, I think we sold out on the second last day. So there are some people who came, mtu anakuja na kwambia mimi nimetoka Baringo, mimi siwezi rudi. So it was 3,000 plus. Sasa inabidi we look for other ways that they can be able to watch, because they're already there. But it was overwhelming. It will take me a long time kabla ni recover from what we need. Now outside there are more people who would want even to watch, because now hatuna venue ya like wase wengi, so to speak, because now that's going to be very expensive. There are some people also wako US hawezi attend, wako UK, wako wapi. So also now that brings in the idea of how else can they access it, but still pay, so that ule mse alikama asisikie si tulilipishwa, wengine wanawatch bure. So now going forward, now we are going to get into the website and sell, and it's something we are pre-ordering the links, where I'm saying a pre-order site, it's very cheap, 150. Then after show ime premiere July 7th, July 9th, because now that's the last show nafanya Australia. After July 9th, sasa it's accessible to everyone, but hapo tutapandisha bei kidogo. So and it's an amazing avenue. So you ask the question about pesa, how much it might cost. So all these are ways of trying to recover and to actually break even from the event. So you cannot break even on sale of ticket. So lazima sasa you find ways of now either doing the tour. If that's not possible, are you going to be able to sell it on the website? So that's what we are doing.
But unajua most of the events zimekuwa successful. One thing itakuwa ina ring in mind kwamba there's something that you are doing different from other people, and also content creators and all that, and other comedians. Ni nini unasema kwamba has been the pillar of the success of all this that you are doing?
I think it's teamwork, and at the moment I think we appreciate, because if it were me alone singeweza kufanya kitu, but lazima you bring in people, like for example you bring in Butita, the guy who's been doing a lot of stand up for a long time. He knows how the business works. He also knows how the business of making money works. You bring it mtu kama Abel Mutua, who knows how writing works, how biashara works, because these are people with their own biasharas, because shida inakuwaga you only trust what you know. But if we came together and we come up with something, because there's some ideas mnakujaga nazo up on the go, no one had it, but because now you're together, you get those ideas, you combine for example, I'm not good in event organizing, so if I have an event, Abel is not good in event organizing, Butita haji organize show, there's someone else who does it, so you bring in someone who, like for example we had Muthonia said that she done big events for big corporates, so you bring in again I said it's a lot of wheels that are moving. You bring in the best of wheels and you work something together, and you can see also other people are doing the same. Akina mwalimu Tom Daktari na Kioko, exactly, you can see there's something they're doing na imekuwa ikipik, meaning if you come together there is something beautiful that come. On the other side kuna MCA Tricky akona makwakwa na jeshi yake. Lazima if you come together you find things are moving quite faster. Yes, and also in terms of quality itaonekana tu. But I think the strength is in numbers.
Teamwork kwanza hapo, unajua there are people that we have talked about, Butita, Abeli, and also team ya kina Phil in terms of production and all that.
Exactly. And if you look at all these teams, like for example Akina Abel, Akina Philip, all these people I've mentioned, they are people of the same, wako either age haijaachana sana.
Yeah.
Mindset is the same, hakuna mtu anatumia mwingine, hakuna mtu sasa wewe kuja nikupatie kazi, it's working together, not working for someone. So that way kila mtu anavuta weight yake proper, because I'm not working for you, tunasaidiana. Wewe ikikuivia hata mimi niivia, like for example we get a lot of deals tukiwa the team, tunaambia haya nani anaweza chapa, si hata nani uniulizie, because you are seen together and there's something you've created. So if you come together when you're like minded, I think inakuwaga na rather than I'm working under vis-a-vis to work pamoja, so that hata ideas zinachomoka, because it's at the end of the day it's your thing.
Pale behind the scene watu walikuwa wakiangalia zile video, Jugusha alikuwa anaonekana jamaa ametense kidogo, unajua. You as a person who has been in the industry for quite some time now, umefanya vitu nyingi, bado kuna hiyo stage fright unakonga nayo before you heal the stage?
Lazima, if you don't get stage fright, hiyo show itakuwa na shida. I believe stage fright inakuwaga food for stage. Ukiingia hiyo stage bila stage fright, unaenda kufanya madhogodhani, but every artist will tell you anakuwaga na hizo butterflies. Just man, that's on kila mtu, just before you upanda hizo stairs, a lot is going through your mind. Like hasa wametoka wapi, what if I don't make them happy, what if stima zipotee, what if a lot of what ifs, but immediately you step on stage, hiyo nini yote inapotea, and then you're like you're in a whole new world. Mimi for this TTNT sijatoka kwa hiyo world, it was crazy. You are like, you get high, it's a different high. You are like, and that's why mtu unasemaga vitu zingine hata unashinda nilikuwa nasema nini. Yes.
Nice. Moja, that is one of the biggest success, I think. Tuta revisit bado because there are a lot to talk about that particular show, but alongside also TTNT kuna vitu zingine unafanya on the side, unajua tena there are a lot of brands that you are working with. Mtu atajiuliza kwanza, for Njugush to work with a brand, what do you look at? Unajua, how do you select kwamba I'm going to work with these people and I'm not going to probably not take this deal?
Nice. So I ask myself, is it something that my audience would use? Two, if that checks, if they use, is it going to be something safe? Because at the end of the day, sitaki tu kufurahisha wase. At the end of the day nataka kuleave an impact. So kuna mse atasema manze, hii plug nilipata kwa Njugush, hii nini nilipata kwa Njugush. So that way it's holistic, it's not only content. That's why when you call a show, wase watakam wakama waseme manze mika ni Njugush nitalipa. So and that's basically it. Is it something that my people would use and need? Yes.
So does it start with you kwamba this is something that I'm already using kama as an individual, ama kuna zile una push lakini you as an individual bado utumii?
It differs. Like for example, if I'm told to push, let's say for example, sanitary pads, it's something I don't use, but is it something that's gonna be that, like let's say for example, like girls in school will be able to access, is it cheaper? So does it apply to what my audience would want? But there's some others that you'll use, because I can and it's pretty easy. If for example you get to a medical practitioner mwambie there's this thing na push, easy sanitary pads, one, do you have any issues? Is there research around it? So you always do your research and find out. Two, there's a lot of nini that come, but you're like, this is not for me, because again as a brand, does it suit you? What you push, is it going to be a hard sell? Because now when it's a hard sell, you're gonna have problems, because you'll have to do more than the deliverables that you're supposed to have. Let's say for example you'll have to do a follow-up video of see hivyo nilikuwa na maanisha, and it's because it's a hard sell. Exactly. Yes.
Sawa. So one of the biggest deals that is on the table right now is you pushing a platform that is going to help Kenyans who are in diaspora. Talking about diaspora, the other day you were in the UK, unajua, bado mention you are going to Austria, unajua. These are the people who are Kenyans but they are living abroad. But now you are saying, I have a solution for you guys. If you want to if you want to send money back home, this is the channel. Please, your new deal sahi ambayo una push, unajua nini, how are you going to help your diaspora people? Unaambia now this is the right channel when you want to send out nyumbani kitu and itafika right na ikuwe safe bado.
I think Lemfi came at a point, actually they came before we went to UK, and it's like everything aligned. So before we went to UK, we got into contact with Lemfi. They said we have a product where It's formerly Lemonade Finance.
Yes.
We have a product where Kenyans in UK, in USA,
Yeah.
and Canada can be able to send money back home. So tukiwa hapo, the previous DTNDs we've done zimekuwa gawase from US, wanasema ni aje mimi nataka kununulia watu 10 tickets. So uko na show hapa, they're like, how do we support, vile nikasema about impact, so how do we support Njugush? Nataka kununulia, so wana support Njugush, but at the same time anashikilia wase hawangeweza kulipa show, watafute fare wakamshow. So how do we support our wase wawili? So they're like, nitakutumia do fulani, and then hiyo do you pay for 10 people, give out complimentary tickets. Like for example, sasa tumeingia story ya kuuza links. So they send money from abroad, then ina come. So we always had nini nimetuma we patia watu 10, but bado haijaingia. So and so on and so forth. Now long story short, we went to UK to come, and by the time we went to UK, we had already started the talks. So and already kule kumbe walikuwa nao wamejipanga, wametengeneza pamphlets about Lemfi, about what it's all about. And getting there, because pamphlets zimeandikwa, guys are like, walai you mean? That's what I was telling you about what we look for. Like, is it something our people would use? Because now you find, for example, for Lemfi, it's a zero fee on transaction. Because now ngori ilikuwa mimi natumiwa doza watu 10, nimetumiwa pesa kutoka UK, US, Canada za watu 10, but zishanyolewa.
Transaction fee.
Imeshanyolewa. So nasema idhuru huyu mmoja nitalipia
kuna watu 7 instead of 10.
Exactly. So there was that zero transaction fee. And two, about 2 to 3 minutes maximum, and that's maximum because zingine zinaingia hata in seconds, but maximum 2 to 3 minutes you have the money, and either in my bank or in my simu, because we have two different needs. Mimi kuna do natumiwa, like for example mtu wako UK US anaweza kuwa anataka kutuma do hapa for other uses, maybe for investing, maybe in money markets, for mse kona mjengo hapa. So you'd want that money maybe kwanza iende kwa bank itulie, because maybe haitumiki sahi. Kuna mwingine exactly. So if it's that within 2 to 3 minutes iko kwa bank, hiyo story tumemaliza. If it's on my phone, that means naitaka sahi, niko hosi, niko mahali, nimerealize ya kumbe sikuwa na do, place ya haraka haraka. That means hiyo do ikiingia nitaweza kusort na simu mara hiyo. And also it's in different banks. It's also in Mpesa and Equitel. You can be able to access for mobile money. So when we went to UK and there was that question of walai say wako true, nikamwambia yes. Because you know when the deal is too sweet, they say think twice. So that's why they were asking Ikofiru, because when you hear of zero transaction fee, it's like, so ukituma kama ni 10 inaenda. The other thing the other thing that was also raised interest is the exchange rate, because that's something else. Now this is something I found quite interesting. Tukiwa hapa tunasema dollar pounds zimepanda, hakukadiki. Kumbe wase wakiwa huko wanaomba zipande, so that when they send money doni mob. So you get, so whatever CBK is charging out, ndio wao set whatever the exchange rate is, pia wameiweka hapa, because for you another way of making money, other people are making money, is CBK kama imeka pound tuseme ni 170, au wana nini kidogo so do we ikikufikia inafika ikiwa less, but if it's 170 for Lemfi it's 170. It's the best. Of course they keep fluctuating depending on how market exactly. So those are some of the things that stood out, and for us to settle for Lemfi, and we felt for us as much as ni job, but pia kama ni kitu itasaidia jeshi yangu saa zile niko na show nalipia.
These are the people you can tell them that this is their platform now, kama unataka kutuma kitu nyumbani.
Exactly. And also there are some things tumekuwa tukifanya. So mimi kama Njugushu nasikia mzee kwa UK ananiambia ni aje enda uni surprise ya madhi. So mamake anaishi, let's say for example ako Makueni. So anataka feel nikaa ako home, so kuna kitu ameona nikipromote. So and when it comes to, instead of hiyo, that's good kutuma Njugush and ametumwa na kamzigo na maua, but whom say if there is a way anaweza tumia mamake do direct, it's even way better that you get. So far it's been amazing. But for now it's only a receiver. So I can only receive when you're there. But now the future for Lemfi is, in future you can be able to send money when the system grow. You can be able to send money UK, US, Canada. That's the future, because we also need to send money. Unajua kila taa inakaaga nikawa tume tu home, but think of it this way, niko na mtoto anasomea huko. Yeah, so upkeep mi kama mzazi ni mimi natuma. Think of it, wife ameenda huko alafu somehow amekuwa short of money na anafanya shopping. So what do you do?
Kama msemo mtaani and you can get the money easy.
Wewe kama bwana, juu bwana ndiye ataumia hapo unamtumia kitu. So I think that's the future. And also as I keep saying in fintech, the future holds a lot of opportunities because already tuseme niko na hiyo app ya Lemfi na it's available by the on App Store, Play Store, niko nayo kwa simu. So in future, why don't I pay, let's say for example, if ni cab, if ni services, if ni goods, why can't I pay from that wallet direct, so that it's all under one? It's a connectivity. So hii do imetoka majuu, yes, kwa wallet yangu, yani nalipa vitu na do imetoka UK.
So, does it mean kwamba mtu, if the money is in your wallet, you can be able to spend that money bado ikiwa pale ama lazima transfer now to your other services, tuseme kama uirushe kwa Mpesa na nini?
So there are two different ways. One, it's hiyo do ukitoa kwa wallet, because lazima kuna hiyo holding. Ukiwa kwa wallet you can withdraw kwa bank or on your mobile money, that is Mpesa and Equitel. Yeah, but sasa kwa Kenyan shillings wallet juu sasa ikitumwa, si ilitumwa vile iko, ilitumwa ikiwa in pounds. Let's say for example from UK, in US inatumwa ikiwa dollars. So utaona exchange rate hapo imeandikwa vizuri sana. Then after exchange rate inakuonyesha hii ndio do ilitumwa na hii ndio iko in Kenya shillings. If it was sent, let's say for example 1000 pounds, this is the match that imeingia 170 something Kenya shillings. So from that Kenya shillings account now unaweza Mpesa. And actually there's a test we did. Mse alituma and inaingia straight to your, other than now the wallet, inaingia straight. It's also possible ingia straight to your Mpesa. What you
Sasa jaribu na Mpesa yangu
nikiwa UK tujaribu.
Sawa.
Because now currently it's just a receiver, we are receiving market. So they send from UK, wanatuma, and then ina reflect kwa simu yangu. So within 2 minutes inaingia, hakuna mambo mingi ya so and all you need in your full names. And anakuuliza, because ukisikia hii kitu ni tamu, nipatie your full names na namba yako. Kitu inatetemesha hapo. The other thing I love about Lemfi, maybe kama sitakaa sana, nisikae pia ni kama nauza sera sana, is but people need to hear this, is the human 24 hours human support. Like do yako imetumwa, haujui unafaa kufanya nini, like customer care yao ni human, because now we have automated. But sasa automated
era technology,
but how can we help you? But hii ni there's something unamwambia manze hiyo do ilikuwa ya hosi na imeenda hivi, okay, let me make a few calls, huwa tufanye hivyo nini, like it's very human. Ni wase wako 24 hour clock intervention in case of anything, because the last thing you want with your money is to tumiwa na haionekani. Uko anasema imekatwa, uko haionekani. That's the last thing you want. Na uko, let's say for example kwa hosi vile tumesema about ni emergency. So you need to talk to someone, mwambie ni aje, because what can I be able to do? Okay, let me do ABCD and they'll be able to guide you.
So in terms of brand Njugush, unajua there are people probably who will be watching this interview and sema kwamba probably they would like to work with you, unajua red card ya Njugush pale kwa market, there are people who have put out their red cards we bado tujiona kama it is out there, unajua, but mtu akitaka kukutafuta, let's say kama Lemfi venye walikutafuta hapa bei tunaongelea shilingi ngapi?
Sorry jamani, sikusikii jamani. Kuna shida ya mitambo jamani.
Kisikia kuna shida ya mitambo, milioni hizo.
Yeah, there's always an email. Sasa mtu akituma aki request inatumwa. But Mungu anasaidia. Wacha niseme kwamba jamani, Mungu anasaidia.
How expensive is Njugush?
Njugush is very cheap. Njugush is very cheap. But I keep saying if you want value, you'll pay for value. So siwezi sema I'm expensive, siwezi sema I'm cheap, because now what we do is not quantifiable. like the same services I'm offering, kuna mtu mwingine ataoffer half price, maybe I'm offering maybe hata mimi na offer at half price of what should be, because for a doctor kuna rate fulani, for an MP there's amount of money ukilipwa zaidi ya hapo inakuwa tunajiuliza maswali. For let's say for example for a driver same thing, but for what we do it's not quantifiable per se. Unajua vile unaweza enda uchukue avocado super sema hii wanauza 500 kwa nini? It's not quantifiable. So it's about value. So I think at the end of the day what you look is value. If I give this, what will I get?
Okay. So
I'm expensive. As long as you're expensive, I'm expensive. If that's what you wanted to ask, in terms of if you pay for value, you get value. Because if you don't pay, so you know, jokes, I found someone cheaper. When a client finds someone cheaper, exactly, yes.
Okay. So
But also, I'd like to encourage. Let's pay for services. Like for example, we are not used to having lawyers. Ukisikia msee wako na daktari, family doctor, nasema kai kafaa hao. But these things, they are things we need. Like for example, unaenda unabai shamba, una lawyer, unagongwa, sasa ndio unaenda kupata lawyer. Huyo lawyer sasa wanakuchapa, unalipa more expensive than you could have paid, because these services, they are not expensive. That's why I'm saying I'm not expensive. These services are not expensive, but they are for value for value. If you're paying for, like for example, the last time ulienda eye check ama meno uliangaliwa lini, we never go for these services, but you'll find it's very cheap. Until now something happens, you have to be done other procedures and you hiyo pesa yote juu ya meno, you get, and it's something maybe you could have taken care of. The same with, let's say for example, you pay for insurance for your car, you take your car to the service, but mwili yako is where you draw the line.
Most of the time by the airport tunasahau sana. Yeah, so nikutoa kwa hiyo conversation kidogo, nikurudishe into your personal life pia. Unajua Njugush, kwa maisha you have done a lot of things uko nyuma, unajua any regrets that you have in life, zinasemanga I wish ingeenda hivi ama singefanya hivi?
I don't have regrets. Because you know, when you regret, you go back and wish things were different, but ziko hivyo ziko, you can never undo. Ulimalizia shule class 8 ukaenda form 1, you can never undo that. Useme na regret manzi, sasa utadu. So we all have different regrets of I should have taken this deal, I should not have taken this deal, I should have maybe been more aggressive, less aggressive, I should not have said this thing in an argument, but it's gone. It's gone. You regret manze, maybe time ya COVID ingeenda vile ilienda, there's nothing you can do about it. So maybe it's just those regrets maybe now informing your decisions later.
Sawa. So kuna zile deals ushaikataa?
Yes. Kuna zile nimekataa, zingine wakanikataa, zingine nikakubali, alafu katikati ya deal unasikia now we have thought otherwise. Kama hiyo COVID bwana, kuna madeals zilitoka ushapatiwa mpaka deposit. Alafu nasikia now we are not going to have that event because of what is going on. Now I am being informed you had been paid the deposit. How possible is it for you to refund? Inakuwa ngori.
Swali ikikuja, how possible is it for you to refund? Huo unajibu nini?
Ni possible, juu sasa utafanya nini? Because sasa next time utataka job yao na maybe itakuja na job mob. So una refund tu, juu sasa utafanya. Juu hakuna mali mlisema ni non-refundable. Kumbe tunafaa kuweka hiyo kitu mali. Please note it's non-refundable. Rudi. Now we know.
Sawa. So some of the people that we work with pale mtaani is your wife, unajua. Na most of the time kuna wale, for them working as a family is a big no. Kuna watu wanasemanga we cannot mix the two, kwamba sisi ni husband and wife, hiyo relationship inaishia pale, hatuwezi mix na job. But where you have found a way kwamba nyinyi you are even now touring the world together, unajua. How do you find the balance between the two?
Normalize marrying your friends. I think for me it's pretty simple. If something is working, and that's it. Yeah. So if it's not working because we're in the same field, we went to the same college, we did exactly same thing. So either way tungejipata tu kwa industry. So and it's also agreeable. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Therefore some people that wouldn't work. Awana nagatu sato na maybe Sunday, and it works for them that way. So whatever works for you isonge sana.
But most of your guys ambao mnawak na wao from Phil tuende kwa Abel, most of the time they also work with their partners and all that. Ni ile mlikaa chini kama click mkamua kwamba sisi this is the route we are going to walk, ama ili happen to?
Again, I've said we've always, like for example, if you look at like Abel, PIO ametoka the same college, did the same thing, they're into production. Ideally, if in the first place kwa nini mlioana? Juu mnapendana. Two, you enjoy each other's company. So I don't see why now when it comes to working, your company haileti. Like two, if it is working, and this I keep saying, if it is working, let it be. Hakuna haja break kitu ina work. Then mwanze kulalamika, sasa mtafurahia mkiona pay bill hapa. So I think we've seen what comes out of that. We've seen what comes without that, because we've been working alone for a while. Abel for a while was working alone, but now when you come together, it's a better push, it's a bigger push. And as I said, you're stronger in numbers. And for people who you are in sync, there's no one who will be in sync with you more than your wife. You are in sync, you have the same goals, the same way you're in sync with your friends. Yes.
When it comes to finances, how do you separate kwamba hii ndo ya wife na hii ni ndo ya Njugush, alafu hii ni ndo ya Timo, alafu hii ni ndo ya Sele?
So any money that we work for goes to a company. The company pays our salaries. Sasa kutoka hapo kila mtu ajitegemee. Sasa si kila mtu amelipwa. Yes.
Alafu pesa ya mzee sasa iko ya familia.
Sasa hapo ndio vita kina kanyaganwa, but yes, dynamics ni zile, but there's some things as a man you take care of, as a wife here na take care of, but huwezi sema utakana do yako hakuna chakula juu ate mnagawana sulu bin sulu.
How important is it that you guys, for you now to put in terms of a company than just working as a couple? Unajua si pesa itaingia na me, I trust my wife, I trust my husband na nini.
Structures ni muhimu, and also so that you see, if you get money mnamkule, you might be making losses but amujui. So in terms of structures, in terms of audit, in terms of to know what you need to do for you to achieve certain goals, it's very important. Also, we have people that we work with. So for it to be very structured, we need to put it that way, so that it's a whole structure, so that if for example we are to troubleshoot, unaweza jua where to start. Yeah.
How instrumental has Nani been Wakavinye Sele into the success that we see in Njugush now enjoying and all that?
How
instrumental? Yeah.
I cannot underscore, I cannot overstate, I cannot overemphasize the push that you'd get from. And I said, if you have very supportive team around you, and when that team is your wife, it's even 100% better. Yeah, so I think for me it's a huge role that she played from way back, not even now, because now people see now. Yeah, but they never see uko nyuma. That's why someone will be quick, lakini kwa nini anafanya kazi? Because they don't know the story, they don't know where we've come from, they don't know there's a time when she used to facilitate transport fare, anapatia fare na sikuli, naenda job, I go to tulikuwa na shoot hapa Waithaka huko Kawangware. They never see that, but they want to see now that everything is working. Kwa nini mna nini? Exactly, but I'd say it's more than that. And also you always need that person, because a lot of time you doubt yourself. You also need someone who will tell you keep pushing, uko sawa, someone who will believe in you, because a lot of times we have imposter syndrome, you are doubting yourself. Yes.
Sawa, hapo kwa familia bado karibu tutamalizia sahi. Pale kwa familia, there's a channel ambayo ilikuwa ina run pale YouTube ya Tugi, but most of the time imekuwa ni squeezy content I flow venye ilikuwa na flow kitambo. Why that change, na mbona mmeamua kui slow down as opposed to venye ilikuwa kitambo?
Two things. COVID, school. So hiyo time tulikuwa tunapiga content ilikuwa because COVID, everyone was home, so we had a lot of time. Two, hakuwa ameingia shule, now the guy is in school, so you cannot force him ativeto a bag to shoot because he needs to be a kid. So anytime, and if you look anytime, whenever we have some free time and we can be able to record, we do. Yeah, but so it's because of those two things.
Kwa nini ulisoma shule pale KMC? Hiyo certificate ambao ulichukua pale unayesema kwa maisha, because most of the time kuna zile on and off ambazo unafanya vitu ulikuwa umesomea na nini, but imekusaidiaje mpaka penye umefika sasa hivi?
Vile tu ulianza ile job ya BBC, kama sio hiyo singepata. So there is very important, and in future ujui nitaitumia wapi. Unajua wanasema iozi. Yeah, but beyond hiyo karatasi, it's what we got from school, because KMC taught us a lot of things, because we had units like, for example, media law and ethics. We had advertising. Like, for example, advertising is what I use for clients when we are doing clips. How do you advertise at the same time, pass the information at the same time you're entertaining? So there's a lot more than the paper, because a lot of times you take it as is the paper, but what that school taught you, because I was so lucky to be in KMC, because it's Musema KMC, it's very 360. It's very hands-on. If it's camera, utatoka huko umeiva camera, editing, utatoka huko ibi interview skills, utatoka umepatana, because now alumni wetu walikuwa wanakam. I remember there's a time Akina Dennis Onsarigo came, and you get all these 360 kind of skills. So I'd say I use it to date every day when I wake up in the morning. Like, for example, kuna kitu hawezi, let's say for example I'm making a funny video. Kuna mse amededi. There's what media law and ethics says about that. There's what media law and ethics says about kids na ku broadcast. So I'd say I use it every day.
Moja, mention KMC, there's a viral video ilikonga ya, I think it was an advert ya SAF that happened before you completed school. By that time you were transitioning kutoka shule uingie nini. How instrumental was that advert into shaping your career mpaka penye ilifikia?
I think ilikuwa IBC. So IBC tulifanya ilikuwa kujiandikisha. There was a campaign for wase wajiandikishe. Sasa hiyo ilikuwa inaitwa IIEC. Ilikuwa I think under Isaac Hassan, if I'm not wrong. So wase walikuwa wanajiandikisha. So I had to do the campaign, and for the first time anze Dennis Mugo, he before even I joined TV, ndiye alinipatia hiyo chance ya kuingia kwa TV. Akakam KMC, akauliza kuna kale kamse kalikuwa niwe kam. So nikaenda, I had a very small part, ilikuwa ya kuambia Kilunda watahidi haya, anakuja anauliza watu wanapiga, anakuja amejirukisha line aoni. Ndio watu wanapiga line wapi? Namwambia huko, hiyo kitu acha nikwambie. Ilikuwa tu hivi. But kila mali naitwa, hebu tufanyie vile unafanya. Hakuna kitu ilikuwa tamu hivyo, because I'm like, this is what I'm doing in school. Na nimeonekana kwa TV, and no, lazima hii kitu nionekane kwa sana. So I think in terms of that urge and that push for doing auditions, that would inform even when Abel Mutua came calling, na akauliza huko ni nani wako na talanta. When he came for that drama club, nilikuwa na hiyo uchu, naona umse anaweza kuwa ndio gedo yangu kwenda kwa TV. So akisema sawa amke wa perform, taamka. Yes. So I'd say in that sense that gave me that push.
Na umekuwa in live, umekuwa na so many viral moments, unajua. There's one also yenye huwa inafanya rounds on social media, na either we can confirm kama inakuanga ni true ni Njugusha ama ni nani. Ile textbook ya chemistry. Hiyo picha inakuanga ni ukweli ama jamaa aliedit akakuweka hapo?
Droid. Kuna jamaa deadly sana pale kwa mtandao anaitwa Droid. So he's very good in anaweza manze kuwekea nyama kwa ugali. Kama ulikuwa unakula na sukuma unataka nyama wewe muongeleshe. So ilikuwa Photoshop. But hata mimi vile niliona naona nikana nilikuwa gashi.
Kama ilikuwa ukweli. Sawa. So unajua hapo, at least we have talked about the nini. So the next stop for TTNT, so itakuwa ni 5 ama bado itakuwa ni 4, but now touring different countries?
So currently we are doing Australia. Australia is going to be the last nini kabla we release, because now we want to release it to everyone globally. Kwa mtandao pale njugush.ke. So what we are doing is we are doing Adelaide, Perth, Melbourne and Sydney in Australia. So we have four more shows left. And then now after that to push kwa mtandao, then now we meet next year. So we start preparing for TTNT5. Because sasa TTNT4 actually was going back to where we were supposed to be before COVID. Because tulianza TTNT1 very grand, then 2, 3 kabidi tufanye ndogo because of COVID. Now TTNT4 set stage now for doing because now next year 2024 we are looking into doing more tours. Before Nairobi should be the last tour. So
So that is outside Nairobi.
no,
International.
UK, Germany, USA, Canada, Australia. Now we are T24 was setting stage for saying we are back and we are ready to go. So after that, then we look next year of how we'd be able to do outside Nairobi, to LD, Mombasa, because people are like, kujeni kabla muiachilie, kujeni. Yes.
Now which is going to happen? Is it going plan?
Yes. It's what now we are planning now. We are planning now for next year. Yeah.
Sawa. So wale ambao watakuwa naangalia from tuseme kwamba those who were expecting the links, kwamba watakuwa napata package ya all the cities you have toured, ama content itakuwa ni moja, so it will be just packaged into one.
For purposes of, because production is very expensive, so, and that's why we went all out in KCC. So the KCC one is now what everyone is going to watch. However, utamu wa tour is every city, every state gets their own taste. So that, because now this one from Mtandao, we want to make it, this one from Mtandao is not enough, so we want to come where you are. Yes, but jumuli hata juu maybe atungeweza kufika kwenyu oneni, so we the one we recorded at Nairobi KMC, I mean at KMC manzena kwa kichwa yangu KCC. Yeah, that's hiyo ndio itakuwa kwa Mtandao, but the rest is an experience, because for example in Swindon, we went to UK. In Swindon it was a very different experience from what, and it's different good. Yeah, so maybe in future now we'll be recording that. Mzee anabaile anataka kuwatch. Exactly. UK ilikuwaje? True.
Okay, sawa. So hawa watu kisikia jina yao, what comes to your mind? Sawa Abel Mtua.
Abel kukula makucha.
Phil Karanja.
Mtu serious na maisha.
Kuna mrembo anaitwa Star Chebet.
Star for Future. Sauti. Na sauti nyororo yule mtoto. Na nywele. Anyway tumalizia hapa.
Sawa. Crazy Kena.
Ni mjinga. Yule kijana ni mjinga. Crazy Kena is mjinga, but also he's very hardworking. He puts in the work. Yeah.
Judith Nyawera.
Mtu wa mutaratara. Huyu mtu akisema mnapita hapa, anawakigi kama akisema mnapita hapa mnapita hapa. Yeah.
Okay. Kuna jamaa anaitwa DJ Shiti.
Kolongolo mnyanye. DJ Shiti, ma stories za uongo. Yule kijana anaweza kudanganya. Ni story ujui ni ushaisikia stories za uongo, haujui ni ukweli ama ni uongo. Si za jaba unajua ni uongo. But hizi zake anakupatia story you're like, hiyo story ni ukweli ama ni uongo. Yeah.
Angela Ngendo.
Madam pale ni mtu wa kufuata sheria na masharti kuzingatiwa. Sema hapana, you cannot do that, because if you do that, she knows, let me put it this way, she knows her thing.
Yes. Kuna jamaa wa mwisho anaitwa Mr. Ongore.
Ongore ule amekula. Ongore jamani. Ongore tukiwa KMC. Alikuwa ni wale wasemanze ni first year but akona TV. Sasa madhadia wanaenda kuwatch TV kwake, tunaweza watch game. Ongore aligombaka na DS, yani futa ina watch kwa room yake. You're like, bro, when first year bana, how do you do it? Ongore tukiwa first year alienda gigi ya Cecil. Unajua amekula. Yeye sasa na sahi anafanya pia security na Big Way. Yeye ndiye alikuwa security wa Cecil. Mko first year. Mnasikiza Cecil kwa ufa. Tulikuwa na Ampex. Ameenda anasema manze mimi Cecil bana. Cecil anakimbia. We are like, bro, tell us more. Anasema Cecil ameenda na chaja yangu manze.
Wakati nyinyi mnamuona tu huko ama mnamsikiza tu huko kwa
nini? Manze. Yes.
Sawa, kuna jamaa wa mwisho I think amenikujia. I think he was involved in the revolution of Powerhouse. Jamaa anaitwa Dennis Itumbi.
Itumbi ni jamaa moja mtrue sana. Itumbi he's very pro watu. Yes. And at times I tend to think he forgets about himself. He's very pro watu, he's very pro things to work. Like I remember in KMC, kuna time drama ilikuwa reserved for the ideas too. Aliingia akasema iwezi kuwa tunakuja first year tuongoje dhadia tunafanya yetu. And that year KMC took 2 teams to drama nationals. Na hizo 2 teams guess gani ilishinda akina Itumbi first years. Yeah, he really is he's a push, atapush kitu anaweza toka na hii aseme hapa kunafaa kuwa na mlango na hakuna na atengeneze mlango na atoke. Yes.
Final words labda pale, but the big point itakuwa ni how do you handle rejection in terms of kila kitu unafanya?
Kama haikui mimi nasemaga kama sijafika, kuna msichana kuambiaga hey, let's say for example, this is just an example, Njugush, I think you too you might be expensive. I'm sorry, I'm not expensive. Nyi mkiwa ready tu mtaniambia, mkifika nini mtani nikadema kwambie hey, you're not my class. Hawezi pambana na yeye, usharejectiwa. Sasa hata ukipiga magoti itakuwa unataka nini? Basi ujue like ikikataa imekataa. Tunasonga mbele, wenda ujitengeneze, tukikuwa fiti watakututafuta.
So I think with that tunaweza ifungia hapo, lakini utapigia message to your fans na pia what you are pushing right now, how wanaweza pata wapi, kama ni ku-download the app ya Lemfi waende waitafute wapi, alafu next mnakutana wapi?
Asante sana. Thank you so much for everyone manzo nafanya kitu, especially art. I'm so big on art. Keep pushing. Itakuwa sawa. Saa zingine nakaga ni kama I make sense, but now ikianza ku make sense inalipisha ile haiku make sense. If you for your story nilikuwa nimeongea ya money transfer, you want to transfer money from UK, Canada and USA for now, you can use Lemfi. Download on App Store, Play Store, follow maagizo, very short, follow maagizo, enda uingia, then you start transacting. Remember, it's zero transfer fee, best exchange rates, and also to any bank, and also kwa pesa yako, Mpesa na Equity na mambo inakuwa fresh. Lemfi, Lemfi, Lemfi. Yes.
Sawa. Wanakuambianga hapo ndio tutakuwa naifungia, lakini a message tu mtu anaitwa Celeste Ndinda.
Awo.
Sema kitu.
Hiyo awo ameget inakuwa gani nini, anajua kile ngisikia awo amejua kile ni Mwagithurai.
So shukran sana Njugush for speaking to us. Kunayo lazima utaipata.
Acha ni hivi ama ni hivi.
Bado. Tulia tu hapo, alafu Mose atakuletea.
Mose hakuna bana, Mose anakunywa maji. Mose hakuna chai.
Sawa. That has been our time. Wananiita mjukuu wa mfalme. We are out.